Today is going to be a completely different video. And this is what I've been told to show you. I'm a Smallbone. I'm a healer in my ancestral ways. Freya, my dog's trying to eat all my lettuce. So, I've been talking about creating a relationship with the land and listening to the whispers, and that the power is in the land. And a lot of people are like, well, Emma, I don't live in the woods like you do. I don't have access to the things you do. So, how do I create that connection? So, what they wanted me to show you today is some of my gardening stuff. And I'm in this crazy getup. Actually, I'll be able to take this off soon because the sun's coming out and the wind's starting to blow. So I'll be able to take off this crazy outfit in a minute. Um, but I'm here in Ontario, Canada, about an hour and a half outside of Toronto. And we have a managed forest, and I am at home majority of the time. I work in my ancestral ways, but I also listen to the land. And this is not my land. This is the land of the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe and the Mohawk and the Mississaugas. And I'm trying to deepen my relationship with this land to respect that energy. And one of the ways that I have found to do that is through gardening. Look at these sad. This is the end of my lettuce. My dog eats lettuce. So we actually grow this for my dog. So, hey Freya, come here. Freya, come here. Watch. This is how much my dog loves lettuce. Come on, Freya. Come and get it. Come and get it. Come on, up you get. I have a vegetarian dog. Well, no, she's not actually vegetarian. She eats salmon. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to transplant some not tomatoes. Well, I am going to transplant some tomatoes. But the thing that I'm supposed to focus on today is what the woods told me, because I'm not supposed to go in them again. I'm supposed to show you how you can grow a lovely little garden no matter where you are. And it's one way to connect with the land. And I will tell you, when you start things from seed, you really start to understand how, oh, nice, there's worms in here. And there's worm eggs. If you haven't ever seen a worm egg, they're these little can you see that little gold? They're these like little bubbles almost. And we put red wrigglers in all of our soil. We use raised beds and pots. Next year, I'll be able to actually put my garden in the ground because we've been working the soil for a couple of years, and I finally think I have it to a place where the plants are pretty happy, so I'll end up putting my garden in the ground. But right now, we're all in planters and raised beds, and I have a very small garden in the ground just because of where we live. And and you can hear the red squirrels are mad at me. We're on the end of the escarpment, so it's rock. Like wherever you put a shovel, it is just rock. So we have to put a lot of things in planters. So I do lettuces in planters. Um, what else do I do? Strawberries in planters. And that's what I'm here to show you. I grew, let's just so you know, I grow things in lots of weird things. I like to recycle, and I don't really like to use things. So this was like an old advent calendar in the shape of a house, but it kind of worked perfect for my strawberries, and they really liked it because it was metal. And the metal actually heated up the soil, and the strawberries loved it a lot. So I think this is my new start planting starter. I have two of these, and I got them for sale at Michael's somewhere, like super cheap. They were like 75% off. And I made a bug house out of one. It's in the woods. But this one is just like, it's a metal, galvanized metal advent calendar. You can even see the numbers in the little holes. I was supposed to use this for my kid and I never did. But I planted strawberries in this, and I started them from seeds in the spring. And my plan is to overwinter them because I have some plants from last year that I overwintered. So you can see how well they did in my little advent calendar. And now what I'm gonna do is put these all in planters, and then these plants will be ready because our growing season is so weird. These plants will overwinter in my garage. So they don't like completely freeze, but they'll die off. And then in the spring, I'll just put them in the ground and we're gonna have a crap ton of strawberries. But you could just put your strawberries in a planter on your balcony. You could put it in your garden. You could put it on your front porch. Strawberries are actually a really fun way to get to know plants if you're not a green thumb, because they're pretty easy. Like, I just got a packet of seeds and put them in a couple of those solo cups. And when they started to sprout, I just kept separating them and kept separating them and kept separating them until now I have probably, well, I'm gonna have a lot of strawberries next year. Let's put it that way. But again, learning how to do it from seed is a perfect way to start to understand how nature works, because then you have to pay attention to how much you water it. Then you have to pay attention to how much sun it's getting. Strawberries love sun. I've actually got a last bloom on some and I'm gonna get strawberries, a late season strawberries. And it's just fun to have in your fridge for a meal. And even if it's just a cupful, even if you just get one strawberry, you helped co-create that with the land. And whether it's on your land or whether it's in a pot, it really doesn't matter. But what I keep getting told by the trees and by the mycelium is we have to learn how to work with nature again. And we have to stop looking at modern ways and we have to look at ancient ways of doing things. And if you want to find peace within yourself, you need to slow down. You need to connect with some of these plants and go like, oh, look at this. This beautiful little strawberry has already given me a flower. How beautiful is that? So I encourage you, no matter how much of a black thumb my dog, she's like, can I have some more lettuce, Mom? Hang on, here, we'll give you some cabbage. I'm waiting for these to go to seed, so watch. She just loves anything green. She's actually a forager. My dog can smell mushrooms, and she can smell certain plants that I love in the woods. And I thought one day, I'm like, where is she going? Like, why is she headed off in this direction? So I just let her take me. And now, whenever we go into the woods together, I just let her take me because she's gonna take me to a place that's way better than I know about, because her scent is so amazing. So the strawberries is one thing that they wanted me to show you today. And I want to show you, even if you're struggling to grow strawberries and you're in the country, oh, there's a caterpillar. Okay, so I don't kill things. I just go, hey, don't eat my plants, dude. And then I take them off, and I know they're gonna come back, and I know everybody's like, no, you gotta squish them. I just can't do it. Okay, I squished that one because it just fell on the ground, and that just felt easy to me. Okay, so grocery baskets like this are fantastic because they like a lot of water. And I find if you stick them in a pot without a lot of drainage, you don't really get the same results. So I put them in these not only so I can have really good drainage, but I layer it with, I do straw and then dirt and then straw and then dirt. And it just composts over the summer. So you're constantly kind of feeding the strawberries some nutrients, but also they're protected. So unless my strawberries, which sometimes they do, sometimes they like poke out the side of these holes and I have to come by and kind of like move them in. But my rabbits and my squirrels, for some reason, won't come inside of these. I just think it's too deep. So this has been my new trick to having, not having all my strawberries eaten. So those were the two things they wanted me to show you about strawberries. And if you're just joining, I'm Emma Smallbone. I'm a healer and a tree whisperer from Canada. And today I'm showing you some of the things to do with gardening. One of the other things that I wanted to show you, because I am a huge believer in recycling, reusing, and then not wasting the magical things we have. So today I did my tomato trimmings, and I have to do a lot more because I've been a little distracted with all this channel and stuff, and I've got to get back to my garden. It's not very happy. So I went, well, it's actually very happy, but it's kind of a little overgrown. So I have to go in and trim a bunch of stuff. And what I do with my tomato trimmings is I make the most amazing fertilizer. I don't purchase fertilizer anymore. I will purchase fertilizer in the spring because I don't actually have any of this yet, because I pretty much use it up. But what you do, and don't mind these really gross bags, but you take your tomato trimmings, or any trimmings really from the garden, but I find because they have lots of, I think it's nitrogen, I'm not a scientist, well, I will call myself a scientist because I love science, but I don't know everything. So you put your tomato trimmings in one of these, like, I guess this is like what you put your fruit in at the grocery store so you don't use plastic, right? So you get this bag and then you dunk it in, like, I've got all these tubs. I've got one on the go, but it's so gross. So then you just leave this with the tomato trimmings in here in water, and you leave it until it looks like this. It's amazing. Like, this makes my plants grow like crazy. I have 10 feet tall tomatoes this year. I mean, we have had a lot of rain, but my tomatoes are insane. And this is the first year I've done heirloom, and they look fantastic. So again, you're taking your tomato trimmings and you're putting them in like a mesh kind of bag like this. It can't have big holes in it. It's just got to have those little holes. And then you're putting this in a container you do not care about, because you are never going to want to touch it again because it stinks. And then you just let it sit. Now, you're going to want to put this somewhere away from where you can smell it, like at the back of the garden where the compost is, or I have mine where the eaves troughs are, so when the water runs, I can actually fill these up with rainwater. And I have a rain barrel there to catch extra water. So one of the, well, it's free fertilizer. Why wouldn't you be doing this? So again, really simple, easy ways to connect with nature. Try growing something from seed. Even if you have never done it before. Look, I've got little strawberries in these little wee tiny pots. These were from like 4 years ago. These are strawberries. Sorry, strawberries. I've been neglecting my garden. But they're gonna get transplanted today, and I think I've got like 20 strawberry plants, and I've got probably 15 pepper plants, and I've got 20 tomato plants that I need to transplant today. So that's what we're gonna do. And I encourage you, wildlings, to go be wild and connect with nature. It doesn't have to be going into a forest and dressing up and being all intense like me. It can just be sitting on your balcony with a little pot of strawberries to bring you some joy. But connecting to the natural rhythms and understanding what a plant needs to survive will teach you about yourself. Oh my gosh, I haven't watered these. Have I been drinking my water? Oh my gosh, I haven't fertilized them. Have I fertilized myself? It's just a great way to create these really simple reminders. If I haven't watered my plants, maybe I should water the plants and then for a minute take a breath and sit down in my gazebo and just enjoy the garden. Every day, choose to slow down just a little bit more and become in sync with nature. And your life will become so much easier because we're supposed to live cyclically. We're supposed to live with the seasons. We're not supposed to fight against them. So that's my little tidbit for today, wildlings. Go be wild.